If you're watching this video, it's because I would like your input on some podcasts. And these podcasts would be primarily for teachers to listen to. And they're about a topic called resilience. And that seems to be a very important word in the world of education now. Resilience, your ability to withstand difficulties, ways to make yourself stronger. And so I would like them to be 15 minutes long. And basically it would involve having a conversation among maybe 2 or 3 people at a time. And so we would talk about certain topics, and you could remain anonymous. So that is something that is up to you if you don't want to be recorded, although there's really nothing on here that we would publish that wouldn't be safe. So maybe you do want your name, and we can solve that later. Okay? So what are these podcasts? I believe that if a teacher has 15 minutes and knows that the podcast is going to be 15 minutes, that's a good amount of time to go for a walk or listen in the car or whatever way they do that. But a podcast for 15 minutes over some topics related to resilience. Now, the latest thing is to talk about how there are 5 aspects. What are 5 areas where teachers can help you become more resilient? And one of them is expressing care. I don't know that we all know how to do that. I know that the books tell us, and I know that the professors and the people who write books and do research say, yes, this is important. I want to know what that looks like from a student's view. Because to be honest, it may not look exactly what we see in the books. Okay, it may not match at all. So expressing care. Let me give you an example. We have a conversation with 2 or 3 people, maybe more, and we're all sitting around a microphone, and maybe we are at video production or somewhere where there's a microphone. And we start asking you questions about how you believe teachers show care. How do they express that? And then the conversation would go from there, because we don't really know what you're going to say. You might say some things that really help us, and we might have to dig deeper and ask further questions. You don't have to study, but if you knew that you're going to be in a 15-minute discussion about how teachers express care, it might help you to get your thoughts together. Now, some of the ways you might think about how teachers express care. For example, when they listen, not just about things in class, but maybe things outside of class. Are you willing to talk about with your teacher? Not during the podcast, but would you be willing to talk with the teacher about some things that are going on at home, or maybe your counselor? Does that express care? Okay? What if your teacher gives you a break and realizes that you have a lot of things going on at home, and so maybe he or she lets you turn work in late? Is that a way that a teacher expresses care? Maybe a teacher writes you a note. Okay? Maybe they call home and tell your parents that you're doing a great job. Any number of things. These are just examples. What I'm really interested in is your list. What are some things that you believe your teachers do that help express care? Why are we doing that? We believe that this is one of the aspects. There are 5. We believe this is one of the ways that we can help people be more resilient. Not just students, but the adults too. We can help them be stronger. And one of the ways we do that is by expressing care. There's another way we could talk about. And I'm not going to go over all 5 because this is the introductory idea. And that is challenge growth. Now, a lot of times we associate that with coaches and advisors, and we would ask, how is it that your coaches and your teachers, obviously, and other adults, right? It could be your pastor, for example, or your boss, right? How do these people, but especially teachers, how is it that they challenge your growth? Because adults believe, well, I'm going to give the students something difficult to do, and then when they complete it, they will be stronger. Well, my personal view is that's not always true. For example, when I was a kid, and to this day, puzzles and I don't get along very well, okay? And my teachers would always say, well, you're smart, you should be able to do this puzzle. I found puzzles very frustrating. I think they took a long time. If you show me how to do something, or if you want me to create something, that's wonderful. But if you're going to give me a puzzle, it's not going to work out well. That's not my thing. So I would like to hear from you what you believe, teachers and coaches and so on. What do we do that challenges your growth, that makes you better? In other words, we ask you to complete a task, and maybe we could ask you how we do that, right? For example, I often believe in chemistry classes that if you know the answer to something, I'm probably not going to give it to you. If you ask me a simple question, how do we do this? And I know that you're really close to the finish line, I'm probably not going to tell you there, okay? Also, what if they let you make mistakes? Some people don't believe that. They say, oh, we have to show you every single thing on the way. And some of us believe, well, it's kind of good that you make mistakes and then you try again. If you've ever seen anybody juggle, then you know that the first time somebody juggles is just a mess. So these are some things that we would like to talk to you about. So let's wrap this up because I want to keep it short and sweet. But the idea is that we would like to produce many podcasts, right? Maybe we have as many as 20. We don't know yet. But depending on what students say, this is your chance to tell teachers and coaches and other adults what you want us to do, what you want us to hear, what we should be doing, okay? Overall ideas that we're talking about how to build resilience. How do we make students strong? Can we make students stronger? And if we can, we believe there are 5 ways to do this. And just one of those aspects is called expressing care. I believe that students know more about how we care for them than they do. I believe that the students understand about how to get care more than the teachers do. And so we would ask you a conversation with 2 or 3 people, okay? And then we have other aspects for challenge growth. So if we go into expressing care and we get some good ideas, we can make 4 of those, okay? So I would love to hear from you and get your thoughts together so we can start making podcasts.